Good morning, good people. That's a tough act to follow, but it is a wonderful day here on the Montgomery County Council. And today we are also recognizing Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. And I'd like to continue the Sidney Katz tradition of everybody introducing themselves and what organization you're with.
Seth Morgan, National MS Society.
Reverend Alexa Fraser, National MS Society.
Catherine Sullivan Kohler, Government Relations Advisory Committee for the MS Society.
Joan O'Hayan, National MS Society.
Bob Shin, National MS Society.
Good morning, Adam Hartman, Hartman MS Charities.
Antoine Dunmore, GRAC.
Thank you all so much for being here today. So today we recognize that MS afflicts so many in our community, and it is a complex and often misunderstood condition. But it is important that we increase awareness for this community and that this community feels heard and valued and understood, and that is why this month is important. We also have to raise the importance of the funding of research, both at the national level, at the local level, and we all have a role to play in that regard. And by raising awareness, we know that we can have a positive impact on those who live with MS and ensure that they can live their lives to the fullest. I'd now like to welcome Dr. Seth Grimes, who for 13 years served as the chair of the Commission for People with Disabilities. Our paths crossed often, and I want to thank him for his continued leadership and commitment on so many different issues, but especially this one. Dr. Grimes.
Thank you, Gabe. Actually, it's Seth Morgan, but that's okay. It's all right. I'm happy. I've been called Hey You. Actually, MS Awareness Month was March. And so you're saying, well, why are you here now getting a proclamation for MS awareness? Frankly, MS awareness is not just a week or a day or a particular month. It is a year-round process. And one of the most important reasons for that is we now have over 20 treatment modalities that are not cures. We don't have a cure yet, although we hope we'll have one soon. But we have medications that allow us to not only survive but flourish. When I was first diagnosed 20 years ago, and this is my anniversary month, one of the reasons I agreed to doing it in May, there were only 3 different medications available, all injectables, and the issue of aging with MS was not even an issue because people did not age with MS. Now we're actually seeing research being done on people with MS as they age. And it's so important that we keep the diagnosis of MS in consideration. MS, unfortunately, does not have a particular symptom or presentation. The saying in the group is that if you know someone with MS, you know one particular person with MS, because it can cause increased trouble with double vision, or it can cause loss of vision. It can cause numbness, or it can cause pain. It can cause pretty much the entire gamut. And the important thing is to be thinking about MS so you can actually get medication started early enough to forestall the worsening, and hopefully be in a better shape when the diagnosis is found. So I just wanted to make sure. I've been doing this for more years than I care to mention. I hope we'll have a cure, but it's so important to be aware, and it's okay to ask your doctor if they're confused, could this be MS? It's an okay question to ask because even the doctors don't get it right all the time. Thank you.
Dr. Morgan, thank you so much. Dr. Morgan has been through a lot these last several years, and let me just say what a privilege and honor it is to have worked with him and how lucky we are that you are with us, Dr. Morgan. Thank you so much. I'd now like to welcome Dr. Shin.
Thank you. My name is Bob Shin. I'm a neurologist who takes care of people living with MS. And to add to Dr. Morgan's remarks, just so you're aware, multiple sclerosis is the leading cause of medical disability in the United States, and it affects, we think, about 1 million Americans. In Montgomery County, I would estimate almost 4,000 citizens of this county are living with multiple sclerosis. And as you heard, when I was in medical training, MS was not a treatable condition. It was just something I learned about that could not be treated. So there's been tremendous progress through research in terms of treating MS. However, we've learned that the earlier people are diagnosed with MS and can get put on effective treatment, the better they do. There's been a stereotype, I was taught, that MS primarily affected young women of Northern European ancestry, white women. That turns out not to be true. MS affects men, women, regardless of race. Black, white, Hispanic, Latinx, all can be affected by multiple sclerosis. So I really appreciate the county taking this moment to increase awareness of this condition so that we can serve our citizens better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will now read the proclamation. Whereas multiple sclerosis is a debilitating neurological disease of the central nervous system affecting nearly 1 million people in the United States, including residents and their loved ones in Montgomery County, to whom the National Multiple Sclerosis Society Greater D.C. Maryland chapter provides educational and assistive support. And whereas multiple sclerosis is generally diagnosed in people who are in the prime of their lives between the ages of 20 through 50, with the cause of this often debilitating and erratically progressive disease remaining unknown, with no cure currently available. And whereas for more than 77 years, the National Multiple Sclerosis Society has been committed to heightening public knowledge of the disease and being a driving force for groundbreaking MS research by relentlessly pursuing treatments and investing more than $1 billion to find a cure. And whereas Montgomery County, Maryland recognizes the importance of raising awareness about MS to ensure timely treatment, while research continues to identify the cause of and cure for the disease, and appreciates the goal of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society Greater D.C. Maryland chapter, which serves more than 20,000 people living with MS in the Washington metropolitan area. Now therefore be resolved that the County Council of Montgomery County, Maryland hereby proclaims May 2024 as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month and encourages all Montgomery County residents to learn more about the disease and how to support individuals and their families affected by MS, presented on the 7th day of May in the year 2024, signed by myself and our Council President, Andrew Friedson.